So today I'm doing a Tara Talks on my top 10 favorite movies, I guess of all time. That's a really strong thing to say, but I'm just gonna go with it. Some of you were just interested in the types of movies I watched just from brief little things I've mentioned in like favorites videos and stuff, so I figured I would go ahead and share them with you guys. My 10 and 9 picks I don't actually own. I should. I don't know why I don't, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into the countdown starting now. So number 10 is Rear Window, which is an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It was the first Alfred Hitchcock movie I ever watched, and it was the one that made me realize like, wow, this guy really is like a master of suspense. I don't know how many of you have seen Psycho, but as you know, that's a very like tense and suspenseful movie. It's also a little creepy, whereas Rear Window isn't so creepy. It's about this photographer who is in a wheelchair and he can't go anywhere, so he's just sitting in his apartment all day watching out his back window at what his neighbors are doing, when all of a sudden one day he notices that one of his neighbors has possibly killed his wife. But anyway, it's really interesting. Check it out if you haven't already. By the way, I'm gonna leave a list of all these movies again in the description, so you don't have to go back and watch this video. You can just go down there and be like, oh yeah, that was her number 10. And then number 9 is actually a trilogy, if you want to call it that. It's Toy Story. Who doesn't love Toy Story? I'm not even explaining what Toy Story is about. You've seen Toy Story. And the third one, just, I cannot watch that movie without crying at least twice. And I'm sure if you've seen it, you know why. Seriously, there was not a dry eye in the theater when I went to go see Toy Story 3. I saw it a couple times in theater, and just, yeah, all 3 Toy Stories are absolutely fantastic. And now I'm going to get into the movies that I actually own. Starting at number 8, Napoleon Dynamite. To me, this movie is a classic. It's so quotable. Don't even know how many times I've seen this movie. Way more than I should have seen it, but yeah, it's hilarious. It's stupid. It's not meant to be taken seriously. That's what's so fun about it. So, Napoleon Dynamite. Then at number 7, we have Where the Wild Things Are, and this, again, is one of those like tear jerkers for me. I cry so easily at movies. Fun fact about me, I'm a crybaby, and Where the Wild Things Are is no exception. This movie basically, to me, I don't know, what should I say? It feels like you're a kid again when you watch this movie, because it's not fake, you know, childhood. It's not all happy. Like, it's kind of sad. There's a lot more under the surface than what you see in this movie. I mean, it's a really beautiful movie just to look at, but things mean a little bit more than they just like are given to you in this movie, if that makes any sense. I'm not making any sense. Basically, it's deeper than what it seems, and it's not really actually a kid's movie in my opinion. People my age could appreciate this, and people even older. I remember I had an English teacher last year, and this was one of his favorite movies. Number 6, we're moving through this countdown pretty quickly, is another sort of like stupid comedy, and it's 21 Jump Street. I'm not a huge fan of like stupid humor movies, so like Will Ferrell movies, and with the exception of Elf. Anything with like Jonah Hill, I'm down, because anything he says, like no matter how he says it, I always die laughing. Like especially his character in This Is the End, I was crying, not literally, but I was laughing very hard. And 21 Jump Street, I gave it a chance, and I'm so glad I did, because I quote this movie all the time, and Dave Franco's in it. Hello. Just watch this movie. It's really funny. Next favorite movie is The Shining, and this is my only horror movie pick because I can't watch scary movies. The first ever scary movie I watched was The Strangers. Never watched that movie. You just do yourself a favor and never watch that movie, because it is, to me, it was really realistic and like that stuff could happen, so I'm much better off with something like The Shining, which is directed by Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick is a psychotic genius. I love the man. And then Jack Nicholson scares the crap out of me in this movie. So basically, if you don't know what The Shining's about, his family checks into a hotel. Well, they don't check in. They're watching a hotel over the winter, and some stuff went down in that hotel. He has like a psychic son, and he starts to go a little crazy. So I'm not gonna give anything else away if you haven't already seen it, but I'm sure most of you have seen this because it was made in like 1980. I love this movie. So yeah, sticking with the 80s theme, my number 4 pick is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I love John Hughes movies so much. Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, all of that, like I am down. But my favorite, I can't talk, I'm so excited, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love it because Matthew Broderick is hilarious in it, and then I just love Alan Ruck. If you guys saw my closet tour, you know I'm a little bit obsessed because I have a t-shirt and I just have like a print of what is on the t-shirt. I think he's adorable. And even now he's like 56 or something, and he's still a pretty handsome looking dude, which I don't think that's weird to say. Like, people find George Clooney attractive, so I can find Alan Ruck attractive, but I digress. This is just an outrageous, hilarious movie, but at the same time it has some heart to it, especially with Alan Ruck's character Cameron, who's, you know, graduating high school and he's not really sure what he likes and what he wants to do, and it's just very relatable, so had to put this in at number 4. Now we're entering the top 3. Ooh. Number 3 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and if you have not seen this movie, please do yourself a favor and go watch it right now. It's on Netflix Instant Play, so there's really no excuse if you have Netflix that you have not seen this movie. It's really, really twisted, but at the same time, probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, ever. And I'm not even like a huge Jim Carrey fan, but his character just like breaks my heart in this movie, what he's going through. And I'm also not really like a Kate Winslet fan, but she plays her character so well in this movie that you just have to love her. So just in case you don't know what this, I'm not even gonna explain what this movie's about, because just go watch it. Don't even read what it's about, just trust me, you're gonna like it. Number 2. My number 2 and number 1 pick kind of, to me they're like equals, but I'm just gonna put them in this order based on the amount of times that I've seen each one. So number 2 is Inception. Everybody loves Inception. Almost everybody. The people who didn't fall asleep during it loved it. And I don't get people who don't understand this movie, because to me it's pretty, like, it's a little hard to follow at first, but for me it's easier to follow than Memento, which is another Christopher Nolan movie, and just stylistically it's so cool. And I love Leonardo DiCaprio, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like he is my husband, so obviously I love him. The whole story between like Maul and Cobb, their characters, just is so, it's just very interesting to follow, and I don't know how else to put it. And then just everything else going on in this movie with everything about like lucid dreaming and stuff like that is just right up my alley. Love Inception, love the soundtrack as well. Like, it's just a good movie all around. Okay, number 1, oh, you just saw it, is 500 Days of Summer, and I feel like I should have like made the build up more. It's 500 Days of Summer. What can I even say about this movie? I've seen it way too many times. Again, it has my husband in it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and then it has my wife in it, Zooey Deschanel. So it just, why would I not like this movie is the question. I think it was made in 2009, and I remember that one of my friends was like, oh, we need to go see this 500 Days of Summer movie, and I'm like, it sounds stupid, what is that even about? But I went, and thank the Lord I did. I went in not knowing what it was about at all, and I fell in love with it, and since then I've seen it way too many times to even count. I remember when I got this on DVD, I think I watched it like 4 days in a row, and I didn't get sick of it. Like, I was like, okay, I could watch this again and again and again and again. My favorite movie soundtrack of all time, I have most of the songs from the movie in my iTunes on my phone. Best like dance sequence in a movie. Hello, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Hall & Oates, you know what scene I'm talking about. If you don't know what scene I'm talking about, I'm gonna link it in the description, because even if you haven't seen this movie, you deserve to see that scene. And yeah, just the way this movie looks, it has so much style to it, just from the opening little credit bit with like Summer's story going besides Tom's story, and just throughout the movie, the cinematography is just on point. Love it. Music is beautiful. Zoe is beautiful. Joseph is beautiful. It's just a beautiful movie. And there is my top 10 movies of all time, I think. If you have any requests for future Terror Talks, leave them down below, or requests for other videos, please do not hesitate to leave it in a comment. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.